Good afternoon, this is Diana Kolesnyk on UATV English, breaking hard truth in easy terms for the whole-free world directly from Ukraine. The counter-offensive continues. There are successes near Bakhmut. Ukrainian soldiers have liberated Andriivka and are successfully advancing in the area of Kurdiumivka and Klishchiivka. As a result of a great operation, the Russian garrison of Andriivka was surrounded, cut off from the main forces and destroyed. In 2 days, the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade eliminated the chief of the brigade intelligence of the enemy and almost all the infantry of the 72nd Brigade of Russia, together with officers and a significant amount of equipment. As of now, the fighting continues. Our units continue to consolidate in new positions. Therefore, the most interesting details of the operation will be announced later. The capture and holding of Andriivka is our way to a breakthrough on the right flank from Bakhmut, and the key to the success of all further offensive. Ukraine pays a high price for the results of these battles, and the blood of each of our fighters will be repaid only with blood. Also, the destruction of the enemy fleet continues in the Black Sea. A drone attack damaged 2 contemporary guard ships of the Vasily Bykov type. Fighting also takes place in the occupied Crimea. Cruise missiles and drones have destroyed the Russian air defense system Triumph near Yevpatoria. Ukrainian soldiers attacked the enemy and caused them losses in the most unexpected places, forcing them to scatter their own forces and resources.
The entire staff of the Security Service of Ukraine and our Navy should be specially commended for this. I thank you for today's triumph, the destruction of our occupiers' air defense system and the land of our Crimea. It is a very significant achievement. Well done. Glory to all who fight for Ukraine, and thank you for everyone who helps.
The Ukrainian defense forces can become significantly more effective. This requires modern combat aircraft, long-range missiles and more ammunition provided by Ukraine's allies. Today, the moratorium of the European Commission on the export of cheap Ukrainian grain expires, and the issue of its cancellation or extension will be decided. The European Commission's moratorium has economic reasons. Traditional suppliers of agricultural products, Poland, Hungary, Slovakia, Romania and Bulgaria, seek to protect their producers from dumping. Ukraine hopes for the cancellation of the European moratorium and welcomes the change in Bulgaria's position on this issue. The crisis was caused by a change in the traditional sales route of Ukrainian agricultural products as a result of Russia's maritime blockade of Ukrainian ports. Moreover, the ports of Danube River are at the persistent shelling by Russian drones and missiles. Kiev is making efforts to overcome the Russian blockade, taking into account the economic interests of the EU. It has established a new safer sea corridor. It is increasing the capacity of shipping through the Danube. It has agreed on the creation of new grain storages and changes in the sanitary and phytosanitary control protocol, etc. As UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres plans to discuss the issue of Ukrainian grain exports and the restoration of the Black Sea Grain Initiative at meetings with the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, the President of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Russia, Sergei Lavrov.
I am not going to say whether I'm optimistic or pessimistic. The only thing you can be sure is that I remain determined. Determined is, by the way, the title of our report. I remain determined to do everything possible to re-establish the Black Sea Initiative, the export of Ukraine foodstuffs, and also to go on our work in relation to the facilitation within the sanction regime of the Russian food and fertilizer products. Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations.
Of course, we are hoping for restoration of a grain deal, as the instability of the food market will cause the instability in many countries, which are depending on grain imports, especially in Africa and the Middle East. That's why free navigation must be restored in the Black Sea, but not at the price of accepting Russian ultimatums regarding the grain deal. The issue of creating a special tribunal for the crime of aggression against Ukraine should continue to occupy a prominent place on the international agenda. It is a necessary prerequisite for ensuring the onset of full comprehensive responsibility for Russia's aggression against Ukraine. On the way to the special tribunal, many important intermediate steps were already taken. The coalition core group, which currently unites representatives of 38 states, and the International Center for the Criminal Prosecution of the Crime of Aggression against Ukraine were created and began to function. The creation of the Special Tribunal was supported in the conclusions of the European Council, resolutions of the European Parliament, and parliamentary assemblies of international organizations. These important intermediate results and the relevant work should continue decisively and urgently until the establishment of the Special Tribunal for Russia. We believe that together with international partners, we will be able to find such a format and model for the creation of the Special Tribunal, which will allow it to fulfill the main task: bring the higher political and military leadership of the Russian Federation to account for the crime of aggression against Ukraine. On September the 22nd, 2023, when the next meeting of the coalition core group will be held in The Hague, we call on the states participating in the coalition to continue actively participating in its work and for new countries to join the coalition.
Ukraine ICC cooperation. It has already achieved a lot, including the historic arrest warrant for Putin. Yesterday's opening of the ICC office in Ukraine will achieve even more. Justice for Russian crimes committed in this war is inevitable. Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine, on Twitter.
We call on international partners to restore justice and the primacy of international law together with Ukraine and create a special tribunal. International law is on the side of justice and we must not delay this issue. The special tribunal should be established and should be one that could effectively fulfill its function. It was Diana Kolesnyk on UATV English, hoping to give you the hard truth in easy enough terms on our daily report today. Comment, like, and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters a lot to us. Stay safe and tuned for more tomorrow. See you soon.